penis explode.
You don't want to watch the penis explode?
I don't want to watch the penis explode.
But
I mean, I already
funny
did.
when the penis explodes.
Well, it's also worse watching a superhero who duplicates himself eat his own ass.
Andre would do that.
Andre
would eat his own ass.
I don't know about... Actually, after work, after like a job, he was laughing about something with the guys, and he followed me to the bathroom. He's like, "Collin, I got a question for you." I'm like, "What is this?" And he's like, "There's there's like no right answer. It's just funny question. You have dick in your mouth, you have dick in your ass. Which one are you taking out first?" And I'm like, "Probably my mouth."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "What about you?" And he's like, "Probably my mouth." I'm like, "Yeah, dick and ass is like not good, but like dick and mouth is way more disrespectful, I think, than dick and ass." He's like, "Yeah, probably."
There's something wrong with you.
Me?
Yes.
How is there something wrong with me?
I don't know, for associating with these people at work.
They're great people. They're honestly great people.
Except for the guy that tried scratching off the Kyle sticker. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He failed.
He tried 3 different times. I could see it in the sticker.
You can't do that to St. Kyle's
No.
sticker.
What else am I going to look at when I'm standing there taking a piss? I can't look down. I can't see it. So
I can't see it. Dude, your belly's not even that big either.
I know.
Wow.
This is what happens when we don't have Spencer to control us.
Yeah.
This whole episode is going to be anarchy.
Yeah, because most of us, like, whenever we say stuff like this, he doesn't, like, continue it for the most part.
Yeah.
He just kind of says, like,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
pretty much.
stop.
Yeah. Or he was like, "Oh my gosh, stop," or pretty much, or that makes sense because I'm gay. Where is he again?
Not here.
Secret squirrel mission?
Nah, just didn't come in. Imagine calling into the office and being like, "I'm not coming in." Imagine. Can you imagine?
I can't. I do that a lot.
I know, that was the point.
I've done it a lot to you guys too, I think.
I know.
It's very freeing.
Welcome back to Dime Comic Bros podcast. I'm your host, Jacob, joined by my co-host, Collin.
Host? We're both co-hosts.
You can my host.
You can host my co.
No. What should we do first? Should we mix up the entire formula?
So what I recently read was,
Should I put the theme song at the end?
Yeah!
I love this.
Or right in the middle.
Oh no!
Yeah, right in the middle. It has to...
And then just throw in some random ass ad. We're not gonna get paid for it, but just...
Yeah.
Steal a YouTube ad.
Yeah.
I'll take one of those cricket commercials, right? The one with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Where he's like, "No, the video's upside down intentionally. I'm just reusing an ad, right? And I'm gonna reverse the audio."
Oh!
I'm 6 steps ahead of Ryan Reynolds, man.
That's a great idea.
Thank
I love
you.
that. So I recently read the first volume of Bionicle.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the single issues you bought and talked about 2 weeks ago?
Nope. So I bought the first volume.
Yes.
Last year.
Yes.
Or 2 years ago.
Oh.
Maybe even 4.
Whoa.
Wait, when did I get into Bionicles again? No, that was like last year.
Oh.
Yeah, last year. I'm gonna go with last year. I bought it last year, and I bought like this volume 7 last year because those like take place during. The first volume's like 2001 and through 2003 Bionicles, and then the 7th volume takes place during the 2010, which is when I started in Bionicles.
Yes.
And so I bought those 2 because they're the cheapest, and also those were like the best ones I liked. The single issues though, I had to buy them even though I had them collected. I had to buy those because why the fuck not? It was like it's that entire It's that entire first volume.
Yes.
So I had to. But the first volume takes place when the original Toa wash up on shore in their canisters, and there's these things called the Rakshi, I believe. They're just like evil animals gone bad, basically. They're just like weird scorpions, flies, snakes, and dragons, and animals that are just being controlled by Makuta, who's the brother of the god Matanui. And these guys act like the story basically acts like pills, like medication, being sent to the brain to take care of the virus. And we are introduced to the one of the first ones, the Toa of Ice, who is Kopaka, I believe, and basically it's kind of a fetch quest, because how the Bionicle, to preface, really, how the Bionicle universe kind of worked at the time and even till it ended, was that it hit multiple different ways of entertainment, because there's the action figures, you have the comics, you have games, you have movies, and so it was kind of like you couldn't just read all of this stuff in the comics, and books, so there would be like time jumps in between, because there's like events of them trying to get the masks, but then there's a time jump in the comic because there was supposed to be a video game of you getting all the masks that was never made.
Right.
And there's also like a point and click game that you played. That one was one of the major ones to like understand like how everything looked, get the feel for it, some of the lore. But basically, they find all these masks and they try to go to where they find out where the big bad is, which is Matanui, and to kind of make them feel uncomfortable and make them feel like, oh, I can't fight this guy. He made himself look like a Matoran, which the Matoran are the small people. They're like normal humans. They're like normal humans in that world type of thing. They all look like children, but they're not children, because essentially everything in Bionicle is immortal, and they do not die of natural causes. They only die if they're like killed or like terrible things. And usually Matorans are the ones that die. Usually. And sometimes the Matorans are the ones who become Toa, but in this first collection, it's basically just the giving you the feel for the world. That's kind of how the original Bionicle started, was through 2001 to 2003, and then we get into the Mechanui arc, which I haven't gotten the book yet for, because there's about 3 arcs within the original, which was you meeting the Toa getting new armor, new looks, new understanding of themselves, and then it goes into the Mask of Light era, where it's the 7th Toa, who we find out a Matoran can become a Toa. So, yeah, the comic was short, sweet, nice, fun. I loved it, and it got me back into trying to build some Bionicles.
Who wrote it?
Greg Farsty.
Interesting. Do you recognize the name?
I do. I just can't remember. I know that he's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. Even when Bionicle's canceled, they still had a Bionicle forum on Lego.com.
Yes.
For like the longest time, and he was still adding lore to the forum.
Dang.
For years, and I'm pretty sure he's still doing it now.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Bionicle's still alive. It's still alive technically. It's just not
doing anything.
Yeah, which is funny because Bionicle is what saved Lego from bankruptcy.
It's true.
And their marketing team just sucks and won't listen to Greg or the fans. And every year there's like this competition that's held up on Reddit, I believe, and Greg Farsty is a part of it, where it's like, hey, give us your character, give us the lore of your character, and make it in like a actual physical form, and there's a competition to see if you can get your character into the Bionicle lore officially. Official. And they do it like every year.
You gonna try?
I might.
You should.
I should. It's at Bionicle Day, which is in August, I believe.
You got time.
I do have time. I have a lot of cool guys too.
Yeah, I know.
I need to get some more pictures. I need to go
flood them with submissions so that they have no one to choose from but you.
I should. But what's funny, I know I'm going on a little tangent, but it's fun. What's funny though is that whenever I get into these types of like hyperfixations, I'm like all over it. I'm on the forums and I post my stuff about it. People are like, whoa, this is so cool. In Bionicle, I did that. I made my own Matorans and Bionicles, and I only about 2 of them I showed. And so people were like, whoa, how'd you do that? How'd you make that? And they're like freaking out over how I did something. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll send a photo of how I built it. Then I'm like off the face of the earth in every single thing I do. And it's just like, I'm there for a blip. And it's like, I get so much fucking traction and then I'm like, gone. So I'll be back soon to send photos on how I made something. Because I made like an anvil.
Yes.
And everyone was like, whoa, I didn't think of using one of the Toa boots to make an anvil. It was like the simplest thing that I thought of. I was like, how do I make this simple but it looks like it fits?
Yeah.
Bionicle boots with a little Technic piece in the side to make that that pointed part of anvil.
Yes, yeah.
I know, I'm so cool. That's what I read.
Wow.
Yeah. What'd you read?
I read The Black Monday Murders, written by Jonathan Hickman and illustrated by Tom Coker. This came out... When did it come out? In 2016. So it's an older Jonathan Hickman project. So what's going on is money is weird.
Money.
There's a weird mysticism with money, and it turns out that there's a god that is actually worshipped through money, and he influences the stock market, basically the top money people, the richest people. No, I don't. Is it the richest people? There's a Game of Thrones family system, the different houses.
All the brothers and sisters fuck each other.
No,
and their dads and moms.
Not that.
And their children.
No.
We said Game of Thrones.
Yes, the different houses, basically. There's 5 different houses of really rich assholes, and they feud with each other, but they gotta work together.
And they find out to work together by having children with each other?
No. Okay. No kids. It turns out they actually kill each other and eat the hearts to become stronger.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this?
It's really strange. The first issue shows somebody getting murdered, and it brings in a normal cop who's investigating, and there's this weird symbology all over the place, so he talks to a professor who can understand the symbology, and they go on an adventure to actually find a god, and they talk to him.
The god?
Yes. To solve the murder. It's a lot of weird shit. The problem on top of it is that Jonathan Hickman is Hickmaning all over the place. This whole series is Hickmaned to death. There's charts, and there's tables and maps, and there's shit that's been censored out with the Black Sharpie, kind of I don't know. I guess the classic example is X-Files.
Where CIA stuff.
Yeah. They see CIA stuff. So there's that shit all over the place, and it's none of this makes sense. If I really cared, I would have reread it to try to make all the pieces fit, but I didn't. I followed the story well enough. It was fun, it was weird, it was really weird, and it was cool. The art style is really, really cool. It's really sharp. I don't know, I don't have too many descriptions for the art style. It was kind of flat with the colors, but I think that kind of works with the dark noir feel that the comic is going for.
Mm-hmm.
There's violence. There's booba.
Booba.
There's a lot of booba near the end.
Booba.
Near the end. Yeah, it's really friggin' weird. I enjoyed it. 4 out of 5 stars.
Nice.
I kind of wish I could have gotten it in a trade, but apparently you can't.
You can't?
I think it comes in 2, but I got it in issues for mostly cheap. I got them. I think I got 6 out of the 8 out of the $1 dungeon at Jetpack. Or
nice.
What is that? 25 cents for IDW books, or I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I got it cheap.
I forgot to mention that, like, I actually got my Bionicle comic cheap for once, because usually they're super expensive. I think I got it for like $20.
Wow. For how many issues?
It's for like I think it's 6.
Kind of expensive, but
well, I mean,
yeah. For Bionicle comics that are becoming collectibles.
Yeah, they're becoming collectibles because the second book is like 60 something bucks.
Cheapers.
70 basically.
Alright, hang on a second. I'm gonna try to fix this because it's pissing me off.
What is?
The fan.
Oh.
I don't understand why it's fanning so hard. Stop.
Yeah. That's better. There you go.
Yes, thank you. Okay. The frickin' fan. Quiet. Sure? I don't know. We'll try that.
Speaking of cults and booba, we watched Big Hero 6.
Yes. There's much culting and booba all over the place. All over this kid's movie. What?
There's more ass than tits now that I think about it.
It's true.
Aunt Cass.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Baymax. He's got a big ass. He got a fat dumpy.
He does have a fat dumper. It reminds me of me.
It was like looking in the mirror.
It was like looking in the mirror after watching this movie.
I think your ass is whiter than Baymax.
Whiter?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Whiter with a T.
Whiter?
Whiter. Your ass sees no sun.
That's not true. I got a rocking chair now, so I just rock with that with my ass in the air to get the sun.
This movie came out in 2014. If you've never seen it, it takes a lot of inspiration from Japanese culture, I guess, where there's like robot battles and there's robots.
Robot battles, a lot of the architecture is like mixed in with Francisco because it's France in Tokyo.
France in Sokyo.
Yeah, Sokyo. Yeah, that's
which I find very strange. That's probably the biggest thing that bothers me about this movie is I don't understand why they mix two big cities that are somewhat close together. Like, I need the lore behind San Francisco.
I think,
so,
yeah, like, and how it pertains to, like,
like
where
why,
on the earth it
why
is.
Why is it like this? Could they just not choose which city to have it in? So they said, fuck it, we'll mix the two together?
Well, when you look at, like, San Francisco has the big bridge, right?
Yes.
In this movie, there's the big bridge, right?
The Golden Gate Bridge. It's the one Magneto moves in X-Men 1? 2?
2, I think.
2.
No. Yeah. Okay, anyways, regardless. But it's, like, red, right?
Yes.
Remember those Japanese gates?
Yes.
Yeah, so they mix those in. So there's tons of... That's just one big example of, like, how they can mix a bunch of things in. But I think it's because there's so many things that, like, aesthetically can mix in that they did, especially with the entire thing basically being a Japantown, like how there's Chinatowns.
Yes.
It's a Japantown. But there was times where the architecture did not mix, like especially when we saw one of those big, tall Japanese traditional architecture, which is like it's a holy building, but
a temple.
Yeah, it's... I wouldn't say a temple, because they have buildings that are not just temples, they're just like holy buildings too.
Interesting.
but I guess they would technically call it a temple. Anyways, regardless,
Yes.
it's just like that architecture, and then like we go over the cliff. It's like one of the last scenes in the movie.
Yep.
And then you see the whole like business building that's like future modern looking and shit. It's just some of the buildings don't mix together. It's weird. So sometimes the architecture doesn't fit well, but very anime inspired this movie is.
Yes. The vocal performances were pretty solid. I have to say I don't really like TJ Miller's acting, so his voice sticks out like a sore thumb, and it really irks me. I hate the sound of his voice.
Fred?
Yes.
Yes.
But everybody else was pretty good.
Go-Go's great.
Yep.
Honey Lemon, I think that's her name.
Maya Rudolph, yes.
Yeah, she's great.
Yep.
Love her. Baymax, of course. And I don't know, the male characters didn't stand out to me.
They seemed pretty cookie cutter standard.
Yeah.
Male
They did.
form.
I mean, sometimes the females were kind of like that, but like, I don't know, they had more. What's funny is that there was no precedence of like trying to make an agenda, but the women seem to have more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Cooler designs.
Cooler designs, but also, what's the word? Agency. In the movie for me, for some reason, like they seem to.
The two guys were just big dumb goofballs.
Yeah, and Hiro was obviously the main character.
Right.
He had a lot of agency that's expected, but like these two females seem to like actually. They were very like loving characters and supportive characters, but they're also very like, yeah, we can actually do shit. But not like Mary Sue shit. And the guys weren't even like the normal, oh yeah, we're good at this shit. No, they just kind of sucked. I don't know. It was weird.
I have to admit something. Promise you won't shoot me.
Okay, well.
I didn't really like Aunt Cass this time around. The things she's there to say are really annoying and dumb humor. It was not good.
I love oblivious women like her, so I see your point. I disagree. I'll do a Spencer. I see your point. I'll disagree. But Go-Go is the best character. Yep. Multiple reasons.
Because roller skates are cool. I would
that's
skate.
why.
Yes,
that's why.
I have a pair of roller skates on my Amazon wishlist.
Do you?
Yes.
Why?
Because roller skating's great. I love rollerblading.
I can't remember the last time I rollerbladed. I think it was in like a youth group setting.
Interesting.
And I remember falling on my face a lot.
Oof. It didn't hurt anything, except maybe the ground.
Pretty much. But it was fine. Or it was alright because... Actually, I'm going to leave it there.
Because Abby was there to pick me up.
No,
that's really the reason why I was falling.
No, this was before I was with Abby. But it was great because that's when I realized that like, oh, I can be like a dumb dude who falls, and women will be like, "Oh my gosh, can I help you?" It was like it was like literally every girl in youth group.
Yeah.
No wonder you guys call me the slut.
Yeah.
Even my girlfriend calls me the slut.
Yeah.
She calls me a harlot sometimes. I don't get it.
Because you're almost Catholic.
Oh, I'm dangerously close, actually. Nowadays, dangerously. Well, Catholics suck because they believe in a pope. Okay, I said it. That's the only thing. Everything else is pretty much okay.
Anything else about Big Hero 6? Do you plan to go back and watch the 3 seasons of the TV show that came out?
Absolutely not.
Why?
I hate the art style, and also...
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, I hate the art style. It's too simple, and also it's like, meh. Also, sidebar, I saw the trailer for the Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Which one?
The new one.
The one based on the movie that's coming to Paramount?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not gonna watch that.
Wow.
They fucked up the art style.
Yeah.
And also it literally...
It's a TV show. It's gonna be cheaper.
No, dude. Like, they went too cheap. We've had better.
I'm gonna resist the urge to watch and stick to my bros, the Turtles.
No, dude, there's no
my
need to
brothers,
resist.
the Turtles, deserve better.
they do deserve better.
I know.
There's no need to resist. I have no urge to watch it at all, because I'm like, it looks like...
I'm gonna boycott the show for the brothers.
I will. Same with the Acolyte. I'm boycotting that. It's not canon. I don't care what anyone says. It's not canon. I already know too much about it. It's not canon. The cartoon for Ninja Turtles looks like it's literally people like took paper background, and they're moving with their hands.
Like really old school South Park?
Yeah, dude! That's what it looks like. It's awful.
Want to know what else I did?
Yes.
I watched Talk to Me. It was a horror movie that came out last year.
Oh, it sounds so familiar.
It's an A24 movie.
Oh.
It stars Miranda Otto, who was Eowyn in the Lord of the Rings movies. And she's the mom.
Oh, this came out in 2022.
Was it?
Yep.
I thought it was 23. Oh well.
Talk to Me?
Yes. So, there's a bunch of kids doing a bunch of stupid shit that the little shits do these days. And the kids have upgraded from the Ouija board, let me tell you. They aren't doing drugs. They're holding hands.
Oh.
And when I say they're holding hands, there's this hand, like, I don't know, halfway down the forearm, that's formed out of, like, ceramic. And it's got, like, signatures all over it.
Oh, like sigils? Or no, like literal signatures.
Signatures.
Like their names?
Yes. Well, I don't know, words and stuff.
Sigils.
That have been written on it. I don't know what it was. They didn't really go into the detail. And you perform this ceremony, and you hold the hand, and it shows you a dead person. And then you can let the dead person into you so that they can talk through you. But
So
you have to end the ceremony after 90 seconds, otherwise the person never comes back.
So it's necromancy.
Kinda. It was a lot of like, I don't know.
Oh,
It's
in
a
way.
brand new Ouija board.
That sounds lame.
Where do I go from here? There are really cool effects. The movie starts out with not really a jump scare, but a sudden motion that's scary, and the effect of that was pretty effective. It was like, oh my gosh, I did not expect that.
So it wasn't a jump scare where like something popped out.
No.
Meaning like you're looking in this area and the camera's not looking to the left, but something comes out of the left.
No,
it's like something's moving like in the background type of thing.
No,
right?
You're watching the dude as he is walking dead center of the camera, and then he suddenly harms himself. It's like, oh, gross.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was a really good effect. The other really good effect that stood out to me was a kid rips his own eye out of his head, and it was disgusting, and it looked really good. It was the first time in a long time that I'm like covered my face as I'm trying to watch like through the fingers, like, oh gosh, it's awful.
Did you watch this by yourself?
Yeah.
How do you do this? How do you do that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But the rest of the movie was pretty by the numbers, I felt. It was really well made. It looked really good. It was an interesting enough story. But honestly, it was overhyped for me. A lot of people at work and whatever that have seen it already was like, oh man, that was a really good movie. So I got a little too excited to see it, which is too bad because it is a good movie. It just wasn't the 5 out of 5 stars. Like, oh my gosh, I've seen it once and yeah, it's good, but I'm not gonna buy it on disc.
People, I have this argument at work all the time where it's like, how I see it, everyone just has really low standards.
True.
And then my buddy at work's like, well, we're not posh critiques like you guys. I'm like, no, dude, it's not even like being a critic or anything. You guys have really fucking low standards for the movies that you watch.
Whoever said that is really dumb. Do they not realize you're talking about Bionicle Comics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
The directors, I think this was the first thing that the directors have directed, and that was really impressive because for a first outing, like, it's a pretty solid movie. And I saw online that they had been asked about sequels and stuff, and they said, yeah, if A24 is down, we'll make more. And I'm more excited about that than seeing this movie again. I'm really interested to see what new ideas they can come up with to do with this concept of a hand and like where the hand came from and whatever.
Right.
So, pretty good. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
That's not bad. It's just not a 5 out of 5. That's kind of difficult to get in horror movies. Do you and Spencer share the same shirt?
That's interesting.
Because
I gave it 3.5.
Because he has the same design shirt, but it's what makes me think that it's your shirt is because it's tight as hell on him. I swear, Spencer buys shirts that are way too tight. I mean, technically they are his size, and it's fine. I'm not saying he's fat. It's just like how I am. It's like, that's way too tight, man. Like, how do you like wearing tight clothes?
So you see,
because I think that's tight on you, technically.
We went to Boston to see Dying Wish.
Yep.
They were the second band out of 4, and they easily upstaged everybody. They put on such a good show.
Yeah, she's amazing.
As soon as their show was over, I was like, I want to see them again. They're just so good in concert. The venue is shaped like a horseshoe, around the stage, and there were 3 levels to it, I think. So we had seats on the 3rd level, and there's bars on each level. The merch for this show was on the 1st floor. So because we had seats, I went to the 1st floor before the show, and there was somebody guarding the door, and it was like, can I see your ticket? I showed them, and they were like, I can't let you in. The standing room only on the floor is sold out for tonight. If you want merch, you have to come back after the show. Spencer and I took the train. We were on a time limit. We were 1,000% prepared to walk out early because we had to get to the train station to catch the ride home. So I was like, oh, come on. It was 3 or 4 songs into the last band, the Amity Affliction, and I was like, bruh, it's not hitting. I'm not feeling it. Nah. I was 2 or 3 deep. Went downstairs for the last time. I sat down to be like not intimidating because the person guarding it was quite small. And I was like, listen, here's what's going on. Can I please just run to the merch table real quick? She checked her watch. It's like, fine. Yes, thank you. I run over to Dying Wish's table. I didn't even talk to Spencer. I just bought a shirt for me and him, and I pinned for my hat, and I walked out and said thank you to the lady again. And it was like, texted Spencer then, was like, all right, I'm ready to go.
That's awesome.
So
you didn't even get to talk to Mommy Dying Wish herself?
No, I think it was the bassist or maybe the drummer. Maybe, I don't remember. I was in so much of a rush. I was like, that and that and that. Yelling over Amity Affliction.
Yep.
So.
Because I remember when, I don't know if you were there for that one, because I remember Jeff, Spencer, and I were at a concert where it was it had Convictions.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah, so Convictions was there, and I wanted merch from them, and I go up to the table,
right,
and it's Michael.
Hey,
it's
that's
the
cool.
lead guy.
Nice.
Because I was like, no way, I wasn't expecting you. And I sat there for a little bit, and I started talking about stuff. I'm like, this is so awesome. Like, dude, this is so cool. Blah, 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 blah. And he's like full engaged with everyone constantly.
That's cool.
It's like amazing.
Nice.
And
imagine having Riz.
Imagine having Riz?
Yeah.
You mean him?
Imagine having Riz like that.
Yes. Thank you.
Imagine having any Riz at all.
This is true. I don't know what that's like. But anyways, he had all the Riz, and he's like fully engaged with everyone, and he's like talking, actually talking to you as a person, and I don't know, it was just really cool, and I bought a shirt. I was like, I need that shirt, I need a CD, because it's so cool, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh yeah, thanks, man. It was really good to meet you. And he goes in for a handshake. I'm like, oh my goodness. But it's really cool when the people at, like, the merch tables are not just, like... They're the people that you would want to see, you know? It's cool when it's like that, where it's, like, the lead singer or something like that.
Yeah.
Not to discredit, like, anyone else in the
Right.
band. It's just...
No.
The lead singer is the lead singer. It's like, that's the person who's mainly writing the lyrics, and you know they are, and stuff. And it's like, that's the guy you really want to talk to, or girl. Especially with Dying Wish. I could never talk to her, though. That would be terrifying. Wow, we went on this tangent. I haven't said what my last talking point was.
No, you haven't.
Because I don't have one. I can't remember. Well, it's because there's tons of movies I've been watching, but they're not, like... They're religion-based.
Tons of movies?
Yeah. They're religion-based.
So you're telling me you've watched 7 of the first Bible Man episodes?
I have.
Aha!
Oh, well, those are episodes. Those are not movies. I've watched... Okay, I'll talk about one of them. I watched Silence, which is a movie...
Oh, I thought you were saying a Bible Man episode.
No, I watched a movie called Silence, which is a movie about... it's Catholics, but it's Christian. It's like Christianity and how it was persecuted in Japan, and through the lens of 2 priests who go there to find another priest who they get a letter about saying that he apostatized, and it shows like how terribly they would like torture Christians. They would they started out with like basically just normal killing, and then once they found out how like how Christianity's religion works, they would like do things to desecrate their body. Yeah. Like there was one where they put them on crosses at like the edge of a lake, and when it was high tide, they would be drowning them on the crosses. And once they died, one of them took 4 days to die. Once they died, they would burn their bodies and then scatter the bones in the ocean so they couldn't be venerated as martyrs. Which is a big thing in Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy. Veneration. And maintaining, at the very least, the bones. It's a thing. But there's also drowning, and they would tie some people up to poles at this place. I can't remember what it was called, but they called it the pits, which also means they would call it little hells to mock Christians, and it was pits of hot water, like geysers, basically. Yeah. And they would tie these guys up to the poles, and they'd take cups, and they'd poke holes in the bottom, and they would, like, not pour them, but, like a shower head, put it over them, and it was, like, hot coals all over their body, just slowly killing them that way. So, really dark shit.
Is this a documentary?
No. It's a movie with Liam Neeson as the priest that apostatized that they're trying to find, and Andrew Garfield is a priest, and Adam Driver is a priest, and it's a really good movie. Even if you're not like a Christian, it's a really good movie to know about history. I don't know, I didn't look too deep if any of these characters are like real, but it at the very least it's like a compilation, a fictional story of a compilation of real things that happened. Whereas like Christianity was not allowed in Japan and stuff like that. But also I learned that there's Christian samurais. Not just by this movie, by a little digging, because there's this katana called the Redeeming Light, and they would find ways to put like inadvertent like Christian symbols into things. Because if you had any like signs of a cross or pictures of saints, they'd get rid of it and kill you.
Right.
So it's a katana, and you know the little like hilt at the top, or like the guard at the top of the hilt. Yeah. So it was like the Star of David, but not like as a Jewish Star of David. It was like meant to be a sun. So they would make their own new Christian religions.
Gotcha.
Or not religions, but symbolism. Really cool movie.
When did this come out?
Let me look it up. I think it was like 2014.
What was the name of it again?
Silence.
Ah, yes.
Silence. 2016.
The same year. No, never mind. I was going to say the same year as Big Hero 6, but it wasn't.
No. Silence.
What did you watch it on?
I watched it on Amazon Prime. I don't think I needed to rent it.
Interesting.
It was a really good movie. Acting is phenomenal. Like, really good. Really, really good. That's pretty much it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Not a terribly short episode. We did all right.
No, we did good.
Yeah.
It's probably because we also talked about band shit. And
Yeah. Just
shit.
anything else that came to mind. And I still have stuff for happy hour, so we're crushing it.
You have stuff for happy hour?
I do.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Speaking of happy hour, it's one of the perks that our listeners could have access to if they go over to our Patreon. Patreon.com/dimecomicbros. It's true. It's all right there. Give us money. Just like Caitlin and Jeff Lawrence. They have access to happy hour. What?
We still have a Patreon?
Yeah.
I thought we had to talk about getting rid of it or something.
No. It was the website that we were talking about getting rid of.
Ow! Yeah, that makes sense.
Big goof.
I'm a big goof.
Speaking of big goofs, Jetpack in Rochester, New Hampshire, Jetpack Comics and Games hires all the big goofs. All the local big goofs work at Jetpack Comics and Games. What? You're making that face again.
I can't. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Bonk.
Yeah. Don't put that in. Just the bonk. Yeah. Yeah. Big.
Kyle isn't that tall.
Kyle's a big boy, okay?
He is a big boy.
He is a big boy.
But he's not like a big boy. He's just a big boy.
He's a big boy. You know what I mean? St. Kyle, please help me. Okay, bye.
Buy a comic that might cost more than a dime. Come meet the brothers who are here to waste your time.